Baby, I'm a stunner.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. From the 6. This is Leonard Fournette, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette. Fournette, a 1st down, still going. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
On 1st down, Pittman. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This is Beasley, the end around. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Fournette. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1.
A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I go right at them with another momentum play. I go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run on 1st down. Mitchell. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace. Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the 1st drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And connecting here with DJ Chark. Touchdown! DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that Woody
He would have
Hayes?
kept it on the ground.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. Now it's Lance. Dancing to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off of play action, here's Lance. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Taken in at the 22. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it and let's go with it.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll set up to throw. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Touchdown, Giants! Kadarius Toney, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. Hey, that's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Pulled in at the 24. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. That'll be caught. It's Tony. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw here. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Back. Check nickel. Panther 60.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. And Shark hauls it in. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines, as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. We'll credit that sack to Robert Quinn.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack, 3rd and goal now from the 12. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Touchdown! DJ Chark with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
2nd and 16. Working from the gun, Lance. Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 3rd down, Pittman. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He was brought down by Foyesade Oluwakin.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up, They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And now they'll throw with Lance. He's going to loft one deep left side here. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it'll be Dolphin football. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Now a give right side. Pittman. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Right back to him on 1st down. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Giants are going to get it back here just past the 35. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Eluding the pressure right. Open man right side is Tony. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you know, this offense has had their way for the most part here in this first half, but that time, maybe they got a little greedy.
Well, it is hard to blame them, isn't it? Because like they said back in the 1980s, greed can be good. Stick with what's been working. But that time, I think he got a little bit too much air under that one, and it turned into a turnover that was much needed by that defense.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Lance.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Open man right side is Chark.
And they're going to have a first down, and they're in field goal range as well as they're down inside the 20.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
They'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Chase Claypool
in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Giants will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And with 5 seconds to go, this will likely be our final play. A final shot before half for Lance.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here.
That's complete to Tony.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Touchdown, Giants! Kadarius Toney with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Lance going to throw. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
On 1st down, Pittman. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
49, check 49, check 49. 43 rail. Go 50 against the
They'll keep it on the ground. Pittman. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
69 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Lance. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. Now, I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Now a give, right side. Pittman. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly. And on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play. And guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
They'll look to throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Some of the big boppers in the game traditionally have been safeties, and he certainly fits that mold. He lets his pads do his talking.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right.
And that'll be caught by Tony.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Hey, check Mike 6. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Mike 6.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Here's Tony on the quick slant.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That is taken in by Hurst. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Hayden Hurst, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. the touchdown. Ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From the 6. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd and 12, Lance. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to have a 3rd down. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Miami. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 1. Flushed out right.
Open man completes it to Claypool.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Mitchell. And it's out. He put it on the carpet.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Chase Claypool, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. On play action, Lance. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And Lance now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 43. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
51, Mike 51. Watch the screen. Pass. Check safety.
They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. In on the tackle, it was Duke Ejiofor. Now it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll run on first down. Mitchell. The tackle made by Levi Wallace.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another second down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays second down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Elijah Mitchell, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pittman, not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And taken right on the 30. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They'll keep it on the ground. Mitchell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 88 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.